Hey guys, welcome back to art. So today we're going to be learning about an artist named Keith Haring. So I'm going to share my screen here. So this artist is an artist. He does a lot of different kinds of art, but one of the things he does is called street art. But we're going to learn a little bit about him and his art during this presentation. Okay, so his name is Keith Haring. So first of all, what is an artist? We haven't really talked that much so far in art this year yet about what an artist is. So an artist is a person who practices any of the creative arts. So that could be drawing, painting, sculpting, writing, film, music. So all those things all have to do with art. So art doesn't just have to be about drawing or painting. It could be other things too. And an artist uses different materials to create their art. So that's why on the screen, I put like a thing of paint, I put some crayons, I also put a pencil, and then I put hands, because a lot of times when you're an artist, you use your hands to make art. So who was Keith Haring? So here's actually a picture of his art over here on the right side of the screen. And Keith Haring was born in 1958 in Pennsylvania. He loved drawing cartoons and visiting museums. So his favorite kind of art was to draw cartoons. Some of you might watch those on TV sometimes. Keith Haring is known for colorful cartoon artworks and certain characters such as crawling babies, barking dogs, and spaceships. In the 1980s, New York was a very exciting place, and there were many artists working in the same neighborhood as him. And some of those artists you guys might have heard of before, but maybe not. But one of them is Andy Warhol, and then Jean-Michel Basquiat, two pretty famous artists. Andy Warhol's really famous, actually. And Keith Haring started becoming famous and had exhibitions in galleries. And when his paintings were sold, he often gave the money to children's charities. So he usually didn't keep the money from his profits from when he sold paintings, he gave them to children's charities. So that's a pretty good thing. Here are some pictures of his art. So you can see that they are very cartoonish. There's the crawling baby one. There's a spaceship one I talked about. And a lot of the paintings, almost all of them, almost every single one, have these little lines all over them. You guys see those lines that are kind of like radiating from the characters? So those lines are to show that those characters are moving. So it's supposed to look like they're moving and they're not sitting still. So we are going to be doing a project with this artist, using this artist as inspiration, I should say. And we're going to be creating a Keith Haring drawing. So we're going to be making our own person in movement, kind of like the cartoon way that Keith Haring did. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen here again. Hold on one second. Okay. Oh, then it's not working. Okay, let's try this one more time. Sorry guys, this is the first time I've done this way. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so I am now going to show how to do this project. So all you guys need right now is a blank piece of paper and a pencil. Okay, so in art, when we're in person, usually I start by telling you guys not to draw stick people, because stick people is not really art. We can do better. However, for this project and this project only, I am going to tell you that we're going to start off by drawing a stick person. Okay, so what I want you guys to think about, here was the example that I showed before. What I want you guys to think about is a person moving. And the best way to do this, not the best way, but the easiest way to do this to start off is to draw a stick person. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And you guys can see that this little guy here that I drew, he looks like he's dancing. And these little movement lines that I drew make it look even more like he's dancing. Okay, so what you're going to do to start is you're just going to draw your stick person. And to do that, start off with just like a plain circle. And then you're going to draw your stick person dancing, moving, whatever you want, like however you want them to be moving in your own way. So I'm going to draw mine with like his arm, one arm up like that, and maybe one arm down. Those are kind of long arms. That's okay. And then let's draw his legs dancing too. Okay, so there's my stick person to start. So in order to make it look a little bit more like Keith Haring's, we're going to make those lines double. So I'm going to go back up. I'm going to draw another line. Okay, see how I made that double? And then I'm going to do the same thing with the legs, and the same thing with this leg, and the same thing with the arms. So I'm just kind of connecting them. Sorry if you couldn't see that. Just kind of connecting them like that. Okay, so now it definitely looks like he's moving. And to make it look even more like he's moving, I'm going to add my movement lines. So your movement lines can be like 3 in a row, and they can be straight lines like that, or your movement lines can be curved lines like this. And either way, it should look like your person's moving. So it kind of looks like my person is dancing. Okay, so now keep in mind, we are not going to be making the person with like a face. We're just going to be coloring it in simple and plain, just like Keith Haring did, like this one. Okay, so I am using markers for this next one. And normally I like crayons better than markers, but for this project, I actually think markers work a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose just one color to color in my person to start, which I'm going to use blue. You can use whatever color you would like to start. So then when you guys do color in with markers, try and stay inside the lines and try to color in one direction instead of kind of like going all over. Try and make it like as neat as you can. Okay. So then once you have your first layer of colors, all I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to trace over your movement lines with that color marker as well to make it stand out. And then the next thing is you're going to trace again with another color around that person to make it look kind of sort of like it has like a layer of colors, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go around like this. Does that make sense, guys? And then I would go around like the whole thing. Okay, so I would keep doing that. And then I chose one more color after that as well. So on my final one, I did purple for my guy, then I did like the tealish, greenish, bluish color, and then I did pink. And then I drew a little dance floor just to show that he was dancing. Okay, and so that was the end of my Keith Haring inspired movement project. So I hope you guys had fun with this. I hope you were able to see everything and everything worked out. So go ahead and post a seesaw if you want me to see your project, and thanks for joining me.